Welcome, Brittany Fox. Thank you so much for being on our Spotlight series for the Best in Utah Pelvic Health Edition. I'm so excited to jump in and ask you a bunch of these questions. But before we do that, I will read your bio for the audience here so they know who you are, and then we'll get to answering all the fun things.
Okay.
All right. This is Brittany. She's a birth doula and a nutritional therapy practitioner. She has worked with pregnant and postpartum women for many years. She absolutely loves working with women during such a special time in their life. It's truly an honor to be allowed to be part of the sacred experiences. She has been taught and changed by each birth, and she has attended for each woman that she has worked with. Through the years of working so closely with women, she has been able to intimately see the challenges that come with pregnancy, postpartum, and hormonal health. She has also been able to witness firsthand the benefits of proper nutrition and holistic health in pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. With all the beauty that she has experienced, she has also witnessed areas where these women need more support. She's seen postpartum women find themselves in a gray area where there's nothing that they can be diagnosed with, but still feel off and just want to feel like themselves. As a mother of 3 children, she understands the challenges that can come from hormonal imbalances. She knows what it's like not to feel like yourself, but not know how to fix it. She has experienced debilitating hormonal migraines, thyroid issues, weight loss resistance, hypoglycemia, irritability, and fatigue. Her blood work always looked normal, but something just wasn't right. And she wanted to feel like herself again, but didn't know how. She bought all the supplements, ate a very strict diet, and exercised religiously, but still couldn't get it right. After seeing the need over and over personally, from her personal experience with her own hormonal issues, she decided to go back to school for a nutritional therapy practitioner and wanted to have the ability to help these women when they would come to her with questions and concerns about their health. Yay. I'm so excited to talk to you. I remember when I first met you, it was about a year ago, you spoke
Yeah, it's
right
crazy.
on me. And I was like, who is this person? I need to know her. She needs to be in my life. So I'm so excited to ask you all these questions, get the audience to know who you are and what you're all about. So tell us how, like, obviously your bio leads a little bit into that of like why you became a nutritional therapist here. So tell us, give us a little bit more story around that.
Yeah, so I had worked with pregnant and postpartum moms for many years. And as a birth doula, you will experience where women will come to you with questions.
Mhm.
And I kept seeing a pattern in that postpartum time where there wasn't a lot of education. I kind of knew the basics, but they were still really struggling and I didn't know how to help them. Fast forward a few years later, and I had some of my own health challenges that people couldn't figure out. And I decided that I wanted to go back to school and I knew that I wanted to specialize in that postpartum period. And what I found through my education and then working with women is that many women are dealing with postnatal depletion, hormonal imbalances, and things are just off. But it's difficult to diagnose when they just go to their doctor. They'll say their labs look normal, they're fine, but they still feel terrible. And that's kind of where I come in, where I'm able to see, like, oh, these may not be diagnostic ranges, but they're not optimal. These are some of the symptoms you're having, and this is why. This is how we're going to support this. And it's been amazing to me how kind of quickly my business grew just because of how many moms are struggling. And I knew that that was kind of the right path that I wanted to take. And it's amazing to see how quickly women can kind of turn their lives around by focusing on what their body needs specifically.
Yes, amazing, amazing. Okay, what do you feel like makes you different in your approach or the things you do and whatnot?
I think a couple things. First, I do think that being a birth doula for so many years, I'm able to relate to women on such a deep, intimate level where I can have that empathy and that compassion for, okay, if they say they don't feel good, they don't feel good, and we're going to figure it out. And I think that that's somewhere that sometimes care providers, even with the best of intentions, if there's nothing that kind of jumps out at them, then they just think that oh, it must be maybe their mental health needs support, they need more sleep. They will say, oh, it's probably your hormones, but then they don't give them a lot to work with. Versus with me, I'm diving deep. I'm looking at symptoms, I'm looking at nutrition, I'm looking at lifestyle, what is throwing these things off, and how do we course correct so that we can improve those symptoms.
Love that. Love that. Okay, who would be an ideal fit for you to work with you?
So I work with a range of women from preconception, pregnancy, and postpartum. And although I advertise more around postpartum because I think that there's a lot of education needed in that field, I do work with women if they're wanting to prepare their body for a healthy pregnancy, if they're struggling with fertility. During pregnancy, I actually will work with a lot of women throughout pregnancy and then into postpartum to make sure that they are supporting their body the best that they can. And then a lot of moms postpartum. Something that is really interesting is we think postpartum is just the first 6 weeks to 6 months, but a really big majority of my clientele is actually women a couple years
Mhm.
um, after having either their first baby, their last baby, but they're a few years out and
Mhm.
they're like, oh, wait, I don't feel good. How do I course correct?
Mhm.
And realizing that a lot of why they don't feel good actually can stem from pregnancy and postpartum. And it just kind of is this domino effect.
Yes. Well, I'm one of those people.
I was too.
Yes. Okay. What does the process look like to work with you? Do we just reach out? Do we call? Do we submit a website? Like how easy and
Yeah. So on my website, there should be a book now option that you can book a free 15-minute consult. I always offer that so that we can chat a little bit more about what's going on, what moms may need. And then I have a variety of options for working together because I really want it to fit what the mom needs. And so we talk and chat. A lot of moms will just message me via Instagram or they can email me and just really via my website or Instagram or through networking locally in the community.
Okay, great. And then what does recovery look like for you? Like through your lens, your clinical lens of like transitioning from preconception, pregnancy, postpartum, and then like recovering, if you will, whatever that means.
So, do you mean like after you have a baby? Like, okay, what should that like ideally look like, or what does
What
it
is
look
that?
like
What
if
it just seemed
moms are
like your
working?
clinical ethos, like what does recovery look like from like a nutritional standpoint? Like walk us through that and like what your role is through that.
Yeah. So I am looking at multiple factors. One, nutrient depletion. Does
Mhm.
your body have the raw material it needs? After pregnancy, moms are left very, very depleted. And so I will run different labs to look at nutritional status, mineral status, things like that to see what does your body actually need. But there's a lot of factors. And what I find missing the most for moms is certain nutritional foundations, like supporting their blood sugar. A lot of women are really, really struggling with blood sugar. So I work with that with a lot of moms, optimizing their digestion. Moms will experience digestive issues. And so recovery is going to be different for every single woman, but ultimately it's finding what does that mom's body need and let's address that issue because that's going to be the quickest way to improving their symptoms.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Okay, what's something that most people don't know that you think that they should know about anything that you do?
That the depletion that can come from pregnancy and postpartum can last years. And
Mhm.
not only last years, but it can contribute and often does to chronic illnesses later in life. And so women are more likely to have autoimmune conditions, they're more likely to have thyroid issues, they're more likely to have hormone imbalances. And often it's stemming from this root of just being really, really depleted and not really knowing that their body hasn't been able to catch up.
Yeah, I think that's huge. That was a light bulb for me. Okay, is there anything special that you want to promote to the audience? Anything that you're doing in the community, events, special promotions, anything like that?
Um, I have an event coming up next week. It's a free postpartum class that if anyone's interested, they can reach out to you. I'll send you some details or they can reach out to me. I do also have a postpartum guide that I offer with just kind of the basics if moms aren't
Really
really
good,
ready to
guys.
start one.
I've downloaded it. It's great.
And they can use your code reborn50 and get 50% off the guide. So it's
Yeah,
really reasonably priced. And also they can tell me that they're referred by you or that they heard about me from you, and then there'll be another discount that can be applied to working one-on-one.
amazing, amazing. We love working with you. So, okay. Last and final question. What is the main thing that you want to be known for?
I think it's women being able to be heard,
Mm,
where it's not just one more place where no one's going to have answers
mhm.
and they're not really going to be supported. And so I want women to be heard and I want them to feel held throughout the whole time we're working together.
Love that. Love that. That's why we're so aligned. Okay. Where can we find you? Website, social media, all those things.
Okay, so my website is www.deeprootsnutrition.net. That's the key. Is
Yep.
sometimes people will
Yep.
do the .com and get lost. And my Instagram is deep.roots.nutrition.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, Brittany, thank you so much for being on our Spotlight series and sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you so much for what you contribute to our community here in Utah. And we'll see you very soon.
Okay. Thank you for having me.